The Proboscidea genus gets its name from the Latin proboscis, or trunk, a highly sensitive yet flexible and muscular organ. It is said that without it, an elephant would be unable to survive. Comprised of over 40,000 different muscles, the trunk of the modern-day elephant is an important feature in its day-to-day life and is a key factor in its survival. It has aided in their feeding, mating, communication, and defense, allowing both the African and Asian elephant species to survive to the present day. While the Proboscidea genus formerly included species such as mammoths and mastodons, these have since become extinct. Its primary living family is that of the Elephantidae, or what we know today as the elephant. What may be considered as their most widely recognized trait also happens to have been an essential element in their evolution. The entirety of the Proboscidea genus originated in Africa 3 to 4 million years ago. However, the Asian elephants and mammoths migrated, leaving the African elephant the only inhabitant of the continent. The Asian elephant and mammoth population migrated north and throughout Eurasia, later entering North America by way of the Bering Land Bridge. Fossil remains indicate that a variety of sizes of mammoth species were present by this time, including the steppe, Columbian, woolly, and pygmy mammoth. The smallest of these had a shoulder width as small as 5 feet, while the largest had one measuring 16 feet. The very first known members of the order Proboscidea are the Moerither. These pig-like creatures roamed the earth 50 to 60 million years ago and were thought to have weighed approximately 120 kilograms. As the animals grew larger and taller, natural selection favored those with the largest heads and the longest mandibles. These qualities enabled them to reach the ground for feeding. This new and improved quality soon posed a problem, as the head of the Moerither was now much too heavy for proper functioning. Natural selection once again stepped in and mended the problem, causing the head and mandibles to once again become short, while also lengthening the proboscis, or trunk. Eventually the mammals became so tall and their trunks so long that they were able to use their developed trunk to reach vegetation high off the ground. Their ability to reach plant species that other animals were not able to ensured their survival over those less equipped. Not only were their trunks useful in reaching things high off the ground, but also in bringing in water from below. An average-sized elephant can take in up to 4 liters at a time. It is believed that a major cause for the extinction of the majority of the Proboscidea species was their inability to adapt to their changing environments fast enough. Because they are a more specialized species, they had a harder time in periods of drastic environmental or climate change. It can be inferred that the 2 elephant species still alive today possess certain traits and characteristics that have allowed them to carry on through these times and ultimately outlive the rest of their genus. In studying today's elephants, we are able to get an idea of how these traits were able to carry them through the millions of years to the present day. Other than for feeding and drinking, as previously discussed, elephant trunks are also necessary for a number of reasons, many of which are crucial in understanding the importance of the appendage in their evolution. Defense is essential in the survival of an organism, constantly threatened by the circle of life. When they sense danger, elephants bang their trunks against hard surfaces, oftentimes tree trunks, in order to signal that they feel uncomfortable. They may also swing their trunks in a circular motion as a defense mechanism from predators. It has recently been discovered that elephants can communicate with each other in an infrasonic language, inaudible by humans. The ability for elephants to communicate with one another must have been an essential part of their evolution, constituting mating calls, danger calls, and even just basic family communication used to keep in contact with one another. Even the basic life necessity, breathing, is achieved through the elephant's trunk. Long nostrils run from the base to the tip. The elephant does only a small amount of breathing through its mouth, so the trunk is what is used for the animal to take in the majority of its air. The trunk, similar to a human nose, is also used in the sense of smell and can even enable hormone detection. When a female is in a state of increased heat or a male is in a state of increased testosterone levels, they can detect hormones emitted from urine, feces, and trunk secretions. This sends signals to the brain where, in turn, it sends information to the palatal plates. These heighten chemical communication, causing the trunk to externally signal what the mammal may be feeling. To wash themselves and also to cool their skin on hot days, the elephant will take in water through their trunks and spray it over their back. They are also useful in picking up various materials. Elephants actually cover their bodies in dust and grass to protect them from insect bites and ultraviolet radiation. The elephant trunk is also helpful in the simple task of picking things up. The African elephant tends to pick up objects by pinching them between two finger-like extensions at the tip of its trunk, while the Asian elephant scoops objects up using its entire trunk. You may wonder, if the elephants today have so many features that have enabled them to survive, what happened to the early species of the Protocidia genus? Why wasn't the woolly mammoth or the mastodon able to survive? There are several hypotheses investigating this question. The most common include an inability to adapt to rapid climate change, mass hunting, or the spread of disease. The last of the mammothus species lived approximately 5,000 years ago. A number of carcasses have been well preserved and remain relatively intact, allowing them to be closely studied. The frigid temperatures of the Ice Age have preserved both their bones and flesh. Mammoths were able to live in a variety of extreme environments. These ranged from the desert to the tropical rainforest to the frigid temperatures of the Ice Age. They had a thick coat that kept them warm, even in the water, and long tusks that allowed them to find food in deep snow. Despite their astounding ability to adapt, the remaining mammoths disappeared approximately 10 to 12,000 years ago due to the prior listed hypotheses. Although the mammoth disappearance is certainly unfortunate, the elephant species remaining today give us an idea of what these beautiful beasts may have been like.